Hey everybody.
You're gonna shit your
pants,
pants,
It has been an
man.
amazing month for World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Ever since WoW Classic launched on August 26th, we've seen millions of players around the world jump in to explore Azeroth as it stood before the Cataclysm.
Yep.
Whether you're revisiting old memories or experiencing it for the very first time, it's been humbling for the team to share in the community's passion and enthusiasm around this classic experience.
That's right.
We've seen players hit max level. We have seen Onyxia and Ragnaros fall. Several Sulfuruses have been crafted around the world.
Hey!
We've even heard about a couple of epic BOEs ninja looted. Shame on you.
How is it every single thing that they've heard about has to do with my guild? Like, every single one. We got Sulfurus, we had the BOE ninja lootings. I mean, like, this is the shamelessness of this, man. It's like, I'm getting called out 1 minute into the fucking video. This is insane.
And many, many Devil Sores have fallen and donated their leather to fuel the server's economy of Devil Sore leather. We've also heard from many of you that you're ready for something new to sink your teeth into.
Okay.
And so, while we originally had this Phase 2 plan that was going to be Dire Maul Dungeon, World Bosses, and the Honor System for PvP, I'm happy to announce that we're going to break Dire Maul out separately and get it out there as soon as possible. In fact, just a couple of weeks from now, the week of October 15th, the Dire Maul Dungeon will go live worldwide in Classic. So get ready to craft those ogre suits, practice those tribute runs, and get your hands on that sweet, sweet loot from Dire Maul. Of course, we still have the Honor System and World Bosses just around the corner after that.
I'm very glad that they're bringing Dire Maul out early. I feel like Classic is, a lot of people are kind of getting bored of a lot of the content. People that are 60 at least. And it's nice that they're doing something new to keep people engaged. And I think it's a good decision. 100%. 101% of the people get bored? No, I think it's more than that. I think it's a lot more than 1%.
And I'll share more detailed information on exactly when to expect that as soon as we have it. But we can't wait to see everybody jump into Dire Maul. Now, it's also been an incredible couple of weeks in Battle for Azeroth. Just last week, we saw patch 825 go live.
Okay.
And players around the world got to experience the thrilling end to the war campaign.
Okay.
As Saurfang's long journey brought him to stand side by side with Anduin in front of the gates of Orgrimmar, facing down Sylvanas and her forces to bring this battle that has consumed all of Azeroth to an end once and for all. But in the meantime, there are other threats that have been lurking in the shadows. Lest we forget our adventures in Nazjatar, and at the end of Eternal Palace, when we faced down Queen Ashara herself, we did so against the backdrop of an ancient prison built to contain one of the mightiest of all evils that Azeroth has ever known, the old god Nzoth.
Oh.
And as Queen Ashara
I thought I was ninja
fell,
looting.
with her last gasp, the lock, the final seal that contained Nzoth, was broken, and he was fully unleashed. And so what does that mean for us?
It's a new patch.
What?
Just a sec. Just a sec.
Oh, I can still hear it. Oh, God. Bro.
All right, boys, we're good. Okay, let's keep going.
Well, I'm excited to announce that the next major content update coming to World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth is Visions of Nzoth that will answer that question and so much more.
Okay.
For the first time, we're going to see an old god unleashed in their full might, in their dark fury. We have seen Cthulhu's Eye, we have seen Yogg-Saron locked away in a prison, We
Yeah.
have heard of Ysarge, who perished long, long ago.
Right.
But now, for the first time, we are contending with an old god that is fully free of all shackles, to roam Azeroth, to reach out with his tentacles and tendrils and plot and plan and undermine all that keeps us safe.
There's no way we're going to beat him because he's so big. Like, you think about how big N'Zoth is. Like, think about this. Like, Ashara, that's a hard boss. N'Zoth just fucking flipped that bitch up. He's like, yo, what the fuck you think you've been doing? And he just, you know, he's like, what are you doing? Like, that was it. And that was like the most powerful fucking wizard in the whole world. Right? He's done with that. And it's confirmed that we defeat him? No, man. It should be impossible to defeat him.
It's confirmed.
Really?
Yeah, there's broadcast texts that say like, "Oh, what do you want to do now that we've defeated Nzoth?" And then it's between Illyria and fucking Terralion.
I hope not.
That is the threat that we face in Visions of Nzoth.
Okay.
Ny'alotha, the sleeping city, the dreaming city, as some have called it, is the domain of the Black Empire. It is this alternate world inhabited by the old gods and their minions.
What the fuck?
And it's not a distant location for us to travel to via a starship or a portal. It's in fact all around us, on the other side of this thin veil. And what Nzoth is doing is tearing that veil down, bringing horrible nightmares and dark visions of a future in which the forces of the old god are ascendant into our world. And if we don't stop him, there will be nothing left of Azeroth to
What
defend.
the fuck, dude? This isn't... No, this is the same thing that they did with the Emerald Dream. So this actually... No, like, to be fair, guys, this actually makes sense. Because it positions the Emerald Dream as the opposite of Ny'alotha. Which is that... No, this actually does make sense. Stranger Things? Oh, yeah, they're the only people that have ever done, like, an alternate reality. No, that actually does make sense. Layering gone wrong.
This has been a battle
yes, exactly.
for Azeroth between the Alliance and Horde, but it's also always been a battle for the safety of Azeroth, for the future of Azeroth, that our heroes have been waging all along. And this now is coming to its conclusion. Now, Titan facilities across Azeroth are the key to containing, controlling, and understanding the power of Nzoth. The Titans have always been our world's last bulwark against the assault of the old gods.
Right.
And so, of course, those facilities are being assaulted by the minions of Nzoth.
So we're going back to Ulduar?
Humanoid allies, horrible insects, or the eldritch creatures of the old gods themselves.
Insects?
We're going to have to rally to their defense.
AQ-80?
And actually venture through these rifts into the world that Nzoth's minions inhabit, into an alternate reality that reflects the manifestation of all of Nzoth's goals, to analyze it, understand the power of the old gods, and destroy these visions from within.
Now that sounds really cool. That does sound really cool. But here's what I think it's here's what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be just like the invasion points that we had in Argus. It's going to be the exact same fucking thing. Like, I think they're going to be the exact same issue. And I can't imagine it being anything different than that. 5-man content? Yeah. LFR, AQ 1 to 5? Yeah, it's hard to say.
Let me talk about what that actually means in practice in terms of gameplay. Now, the first sign of Nzoth's power that we're going to witness firsthand are assaults by his minions on 2 key locations in Azeroth that are home to Titan facilities. Now, these Titan facilities are our world's last defense, our final bulwark against Nzoth coming completely into our world and plunging it into madness. So when an assault is active, the zone will be overcome with powerful lieutenants of Nzoth, enemies to defeat, treasures to uncover, puzzles to solve, and much more. Building out this content has drawn upon everything that we've learned in making assaults in Tides of Vengeance, as well as major zones like Mechagon and Nashtatar most recently.
Yeah.
Now let's take a look at a couple of these locations. First off, Uldum, home to the Halls of Origination, a great Titan vault, is going to come under regular assault by the minions of Nzoth. When an assault is active in the zone, players will rally to Uldum and battle across the zone against the Old God's minions. Now, another key location in Azeroth...
I wonder if they'll be on a 6-hour respawn. You know, I don't know, man. So, I'm glad they're doing this. It seems cool. I'm worried, though, that this is not going to be the emergent, cool type of gameplay that they imagined in their, their boardroom. I worried that it's just going to be another formulaic invasion that they've done for like 5 times now. So I'll be curious to see if Blizzard will be able to break that mold and actually do something that's lasting and interesting. I think that the Legion invasions were really good, and there are a number of reasons for that. So we'll see if Blizzard can do this again.
Azeroth, that's home to a major Titan facility, is the Veil of Eternal Blossoms back in Pandaria. Mogushan Vaults is what I'm referring to, of course. Okay. Now, last time we saw the Veil of Eternal Blossoms, it had been blighted with dark Shah energy unleashed by Garrosh towards the end of Mists of Pandaria.
Yeah.
Now, the passage of time and the natural redemption that came at the end of that arc has finally healed those old wounds to the land. And the Veil stands fully restored to its original glory.
Oh, wow.
For all players to visit in this next content update.
Wow.
At least until it comes under attack by the minions of the old...
Until y'all fuck that shit up again. Okay, so just by... Imagine the pandas, dude. It's like that. They're like, oh, dude, we got it back, dude. We got the little spears back. Oh, boy, look at that. We cleaned up the lake. You know, we got rid of all the pollution. And then Nzoth comes back, and he just takes another fucking shit in the pool. And now you've got this fucking purple obelisk thing. The purple pool now.
God, and is once again plunged into a new type of darkness. Don't worry, it's only going to look like this while Nzoth is actively assaulting it. Otherwise, and in the long run, the original pristine Veil is here to stay.
Okay, great.
You'll
That's
want
awesome.
to journey here, fight off the old god's minions, unravel the mysteries behind them, and do everything you can to thwart this great threat that's facing Azeroth.
Awesome.
Now, Visions of Nzoth isn't just the name of this content update, it's also the name of its major new feature.
Horrific Visions.
By completing assaults, you'll be able to earn your way into the deepest recesses of Nzoth's mind.
What?
And the reality that's seeking to manifest itself across Azeroth. There are these horrific visions, which are 1 to 5 player content centered around the capital cities of Orgrimmar and Stormwind, that show us an alternate reality of what might come to pass if we do not succeed. Here we see maps of Orgrimmar and Stormwind indicating the deepening corruption the farther into the cities we go. Now, when you first enter a horrific vision, I can virtually guarantee you're not going to make it very far. Your mind will succumb to Nzoth's relentless assault. As your sanity slips away, you'll begin to experience effects, various detrimental effects, some cosmetic, some very serious mechanical hindrances, as your sanity literally is drained by being within this horrific vision and by facing off against Nzoth's minions.
This sounds cool. Let me say that. It sounds cool. That doesn't mean that it will be. And I will deal with visible... Let me finish the video, then I'll do your thing, okay? It's up on the PTR. Well, maybe we'll have to look at it. It's because it doesn't reward anything. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that they have to make this with a scaling difficulty that's compelling to more than just like the easiest, you know, the lowest common denominator. If this is 1 to 5 player content, the odds are it's probably LFR difficulty and it's not really going to be fun or engaging to people because you're just going to do it a couple of times and then that's going to be it. So if they're able to make it more interesting than that and more fun, that's going to be great. But again, I do remain skeptical.
You will have to retreat, but you'll do it taking with you the things that you've learned along the way, which will enable you to build better defenses for your future trips. Now, we're going to be working with none other than Wrathion, son of Death.
Oh, good.
Who knows a thing or two about corruption, because his father, of course, was famously plunged into madness by Nzoth's corruption.
Wait, what do you mean?
And what else does Wrathion know very well? Well, of course,
Definitely did nothing
legendary
wrong.
cloaks. And Wrathion is going to work with us to create a legendary cloak that will initially provide some sort of defense, some sort of shield against Nzoth's sanity-draining attacks. This will enable us to venture deeper and deeper into these visions on our successive visits, earning greater rewards, also unlocking more of the mysteries behind Nzoth's power. This cloak may actually also come in handy when you face off against Nzoth himself further down the road.
If everybody gets a legendary, the legendary becomes a limiting factor for people to be able to raid. And if it becomes a limiting factor for everyone to raid, it turns from being a reward into being a requirement. That's what happened in WoD. That's what happened in Mists of Pandaria. Is it possible that they can do it right this time? Yes, of course it's possible. But I worry that they won't. Legion 2, it was a little bit different. It's like BWL. Oh, it's like the Shadow Resist cloak? if that's the case, then I think that's okay. But it depends on like how important these things are to begin with. I don't know. I think that we'll have to see more of it. It's only 425 item level. Well, maybe it just starts at that item level and you can upgrade it more and more, because it showed like different levels of it, and it feels like these levels it's like, let me see here. It's like this one looks better than this one. Like this purple piece of shit over there on the left, who wants to wear that? But this celestial fucking cloak here is awesome. So it feels like you're probably gonna update it over time.
Power. This cloak may actually also come in handy when you face off against Nzoth himself further down the road. Now, in addition to the legendary cloaks, you'll also be taking fragments of Nzoth's corruption out of these horrific visions with you. You can bring them to Mother and Magni to analyze and research, which will allow you and allow them to strengthen your defenses against Nzoth's corruption and give you new tools to battle him and his minions. These will help your future visits into the horrific visions, allowing you to delve deeper, overcome greater threats, and weather the effects of his sanity-draining attacks.
So you're basically, the cloak is like a progression system into these different horrific visions. The cloak being a progression system into the visions sounds just like Delve League and PoE. That's fine. I feel like that's okay. We'll see what happens, right? I will be positive about this, okay? I will be positive.
Ever since the Mage Tower in Legion, we've been looking for a way to provide a more satisfying solo progression experience and a real challenge that you can work towards on your own without needing a group of dungeon players or raiders or a battleground group at your side. And that's one of our goals, really, in crafting this Visions of Nzoth feature and these horrific visions. This is an experience that you can go into entirely solo and work your way through, making progress further and further each time as you gain the benefit of Titan research, understand the tricks and the threats posed by Nzoth's enemies, and eventually fully clear the vision at the end of your journey.
That's cool, but I don't think it's cool if you can do it by yourself. I feel like that's boring. I like the idea that, like, the further into the visions you go, the more people you need. And, like, you need more allies with you to weather the effects of Nzoth's, you know, like, his sanities or something like that. Like, that sounds really cool. I don't like the idea that you can just go and do it all yourself. Right, for Words Company, thank you for 1,000 bits. I appreciate that very much, man. It's a new Withered Army. Yeah, there could be that, too. You're right. I can do it in a group too. Just watch a video. No, I understand that you can do it in a group too, but if you can do it solo, the bonus from doing it in a group is minimized because it doesn't matter as much because you can just do it solo anyway. If there's a solo option for something, doing it in a group becomes less relevant.
Now, of course, you can also bring friends in with you. We've made this experience something that will scale seamlessly from 1 to 5 players, regardless of your role, and the rewards are equal regardless of the size of your group.
Great.
We want to let you experience this the way that best suits your playstyle. We can't wait to let players check this out on the PTR and hear from you what you think.
Okay.
And all of this is leading to a showdown with Nzoth himself.
Okay.
And that journey is going to take us into
Okay.
the sprawling raid that is the centerpiece of this content update. Ny'alotha, a 12-boss raid that showcases the full splendor of the Black Empire. We're going to have to fight our way through the military might of Nzoth's minions, disgusting spawning pools that have created the corruptions that we've seen across the years, the insectoid allies and minions of Nzoth, those humans that have decided to
that's
embrace this
Ashara.
cause of corruption, and much
shit.
more. At the end of this journey awaits the old god himself. We're going to need all of our allies, all of our might,
that looks
all that we have
badass.
learned through our research, our work with Magni, and channeling the power of Azeroth herself in order to emerge triumphant and save Azeroth. We also have a number of changes coming to our reward systems.
You can't beat Nzoth. He's a fucking old god. I don't know. I can't get over that. Like, you can't beat him. You can't beat him. He's too big. He's too big. You just can't do still F, or we're fine now, guys. I don't know what that was. We just had a little hiccup. I don't know what that was. No, you cannot beat his ass. He's so big. Raid testing on the 11th? God damn, we gotta be ready for that. Okay, trap him in the blade. Bro, he's too big. Can't beat him.
Visions of Nzoth. In addition to the legendary cloak that I mentioned earlier, that you can earn and upgrade to defend yourself against Nzoth's assaults, we'll also have new levels for the Heart of Azeroth that come with it both passive benefits and an all-new essence slot. Now that slot can be filled by a number of new essences that you'll be able to earn through content such as the assaults on Uldum and Vale of Eternal Blossoms, delving into Horrific Visions, our new Mythic Plus season, PvP, the Ny'alotha raid, and more.
I can't wait to farm my necklace up to 89. Okay, so as I said, I think the essence system is really good. I like the essence system a lot. Overall, I consider it a massive success. I think that the essence system is, in a lot of ways, exactly what... No, I really mean this. I think the essence system is exactly what a lot of players wanted, and I'm glad that they've done it. And I think that they should expand on it more. This is a good thing, and I'm happy. The leveling your necklace thing, I feel, is boring. And at this point, I don't see a purpose of doing it. I think that Blizzard should just move away from leveling your necklace and having these like arbitrary infinite player power progression systems, because I feel like they're boring for players. So I'm not a big fan of the progression system, but overall, I'm glad that Blizzard's at least doing something here, and building on the system.
And also, as we're seeing assaults by the minions of Nzoth on Titan Forges around the world, we have to wonder, is it possible that these assaults on Titan Forges might somehow change the nature of Titan Forging? This is something we are still discussing, and we are working on a plan that we'll be able to roll out in the very near future.
What?
But we're excited about the idea of embracing the old god threat this time around to replace Titan Forging with something a bit different, something a bit more twisted and corrupt, that also ideally works to preserve the value of item level and the correlation between doing difficult content and getting the best rewards. Also coming in Visions of Nzoth.
People tweeted this at me, and I didn't believe it. Like, I didn't... I was like, I'm not going to get rid of Titan Forging. What do you mean? Like, I had hoped for this so much, dude. If they are actually doing this shit, and yeah, Void Forging, listen, if they are getting rid of Titan Forging, I don't even know what the fuck to say, man. Can you believe that, dude?
That'd be good.
Man, I've been waiting for this for years, dude. Holy shit, man. Yes, dude. Yes, dude. I am so goddamn glad. Dude, if they finally have realized, if they have finally fucking realized that this shit is dog shit for the game, I will have to go play the game more now. Because
No.
I will.
Don't say that.
What else am I gonna do?
We could play PUBG.
Yeah, I'll probably play that a little bit. Yeah, I'll probably play that a little bit. Yeah, sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can play it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that'd be fun. Yeah, sure.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
No, that'd be good. But no Titanforging. You know what this means, right? This means you actually have to start raiding again. Like, if they get rid of this, we have to start raiding again. Because, like, the only reason I stopped raiding is because it stopped giving me the best gear in the game. Like, I would go back and I'd raid again on stream if I got the best gear in the game again. That's it. Like, yeah, duh. Like, what the fuck do you think I'd do it for? If they are getting rid of Titanforging, I am so fucking happy, man. I am so fucking happy. If they make this better and they make it to where you can achieve a best in slot again, I will get that best in slot. Just the same as I do in Classic right now. Ian, the neckbeards aren't gone. They're just waiting. Get rid of the shit, and we'll come back. Well, I don't know about we, but I know I will. I'm very fucking excited. We'll see what happens. We'll watch the rest of this.
At long last are a couple of new allied races joining the Horde and the Alliance. First off, on the Horde side, in a shock to everyone I'm sure, we have the Volpera of Vol'dun, who will be joining the Horde. And if you've completed the Vol'dun level up questline, and you're exalted with the Vol'dunai, you'll be able to jump in Visions of Nzoth, complete a questline, and run around as a Volpera of your very own. Alpaca not included. Sorry. On the Alliance side,
This is another one that I thought was a meme, but I knew was the truth. I know Blizzard has a furry agenda. I think that we all know that Blizzard has a furry agenda by now. I am disgusted to see this. And if this video did not come with the removal of Titanforging, I'd be throwing a fit right now. But the only thing that I hate more than furries is Titanforging. So we will allow this. If this is the trade that I must make, furries to remove Titanforging, I will do it. It's okay.
Wait, why are you upset? Isn't that... I thought Horde was getting Volpera.
Yeah, but like, here's the problem.
That means you get to kill furries in game.
But here's the issue, is it increases the overall population of furries in the game, which is going to lead to furry positive changes being made in the game in a few years from now. And you might not think that right now, but you can clip this in like 3 or 4 years whenever Blizzard introduces like, you know, like fursonas or something like that into the game, or something else weird. You can just remember whenever I said this. This is the first step. Like, furries, they're very pervasive, and I
agree, but I think any disgusting, you know, waste of a person that a furry is, okay, they're already playing a Worgen, right? So, if anything, this is just going to cause them to switch over to being Horde.
It does get them away from the Alliance.
Yeah, this totally changes the dynamic here. I'm saying that if you're a furry right now, you're looking at the current situation. You're saying, well, I guess I only have one choice. I have to play a Worgen. But with the introduction of the Volpera, now they actually have to choose, and if they choose Volpera, you get to kill them. You don't have to deal with them on your faction, yada, yada, yada. So this... I see it as a net positive, even though furries exist.
I can see that being true. Yeah, that's okay. I can see that being true. I don't. Here's the thing. I'm glad that they're horde, because at least that does mean that we'll be able to kill them. But I think that the game would be better off without any furries at all.
In the meantime, the Mechanomes of Mechagon are joining their gnomish brethren on the Alliance. Grateful for the aid that's been rendered in overthrowing the despotic rule of King Mechagon, the Mechanomes will complete a quest line for those of you who are exalted with Mechagon and can join the Alliance, and you too can have a gnome of your very own with a robot arm and or leg, your choice.
So you get Mechanomes. Mechanomes are nice. I think that everybody expected that we would get Mechanomes. It's not a big surprise. Nobody is surprised. Obviously this was going to happen. Coggers in the chat, boys. It's great.
I'm also happy to share that we're adding new Heritage Armor quest lines for the recently updated Goblin and Worgen.
Oh,
coming
great.
in Visions of Nzoth. On the Goblin side,
wow,
you'll be able to earn this perfectly suitable...
This sucks.
Wait, what?
That sucks.
You think that sucks?
Yeah, it looks like a level 35 quest set.
No way, dude. That's fucking badass for Goblin. Look at the fucking rocket, man.
That's the only good part about it.
I like it a lot. I think it's pretty... I like it. I don't know.
Wrong.
set, complete with explosives and rockets and everything else that makes a goblin's cold heart happy.
Okay.
And of course, for Worgen, what Worgen would be complete without a top hat that you can at long last use to express your true snooty inner self? Or just walk around as a wolf in a top hat. Who doesn't want to do that, really? Also coming with Visions of Nzoth is a complete overhaul of our auction house.
This is the furry agenda right here. This is the furry agenda. You guys are looking at it right now. I know people, oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oh, there's no furry agenda. Well, look at them now. You've got furries and pantaloons and top hats. And they're adding another furry race into the game on top of that. Fucking pantaloons.
Your true snooty inner self. Or just walk around as a wolf in a top hat. Who doesn't want to do that, really?
I feel like these heritage armor sets are completely fucking wasted because of how easy they are to get. If they made the heritage armor sets a little bit more worthwhile and difficult to get with like a little bit more challenge to them, I think the sets would be a lot cooler and just the content would be better overall.
Also coming with Visions of Nzoth is a complete overhaul of our auction house.
Okay.
This isn't just a UI reskin, but we actually redesigned and rebuilt the guts of the system to make it faster, more performant, and to get rid of those annoying single stacks that literally no one likes. We recognize that there are hundreds of thousands of transactions happening across our auction houses on a regular basis, and we want to create a modern system that's smooth and easy to use. In redesigning the auction house, we had a couple of major goals. First off, we wanted to make the whole thing smoother and more performant. This is something that we started working on right around the launch of Battle for Azeroth, when folks may remember the auction houses were clogged with tons and tons of single stacks, and searches and even purchasing or selling things might take several seconds or upwards of a minute in some unfortunate cases. We want to make sure that never happens again. Separately, we want to tailor the auction house functionality to the way that most people use it most frequently. And so...
This makes sense. This is Blizzard using common sense. Now, we haven't seen Blizzard utilize this level of thinking for a while. But this is actually just Blizzard utilizing common sense. And I'm very glad about this. This is about, it's about fucking time, okay? Let me say that. It's about fucking time.
If you're just somebody who goes to the auction house periodically to buy consumables for your raid or to sell some extra stacks of cloth or ore, we want to make that as smooth and as seamless a process as possible.
Thank you.
The first major change that we've made is separating out stackable items.
Oh, wow. That looks really good. Damn, dude! What the fuck? What in the fuck is this? Holy shit, man. That's incredible. Quality, yeah, this actually does look pretty good. Now, I'll be honest. I might have to download an add-on that makes it look like the old auction house because I'm afraid of change. But the new auction house does look it does look pretty good. Can we time out the people doing the spam?
To effectively create a separate commodities market.
Okay.
Where you can just go list a stack of ore or cloth or potions, and people who are purchasing them can purchase portions of a stack. There's no more sense of there's one of this and two of this. There just happen to be 117 pieces of ore at this price, listed by 7 or 8 different buyers. If you want to buy them, you can just buy 15 pieces. It'll buy part of someone's stack, send them the gold. If you've listed a stack and only part of it sold, you'll get the gold for what's sold and the remainder back in the mail to you.
That's pretty badass.
Also, we have the ability to favorite items and create a
Holy
shopping
shit,
list for
that's
yourself.
actually smart.
So if you regularly forget the name of that specific cut of gem or that consumable, you can just have a checklist that you can quickly search for and buy on the go. And on the selling side, you won't have to worry about stack sizes as you're listing your goods, and undercutting is much less of a factor in the market as it plays out in practice. Ultimately, we've just tried to offer improved functionality, a smoother interface, and faster responsiveness for people on all sides of the market, as well as some of the power users out there.
That's good. Like, that's actually just good. Nothing else really to say to it besides that. That's good. I'm happy about it. There it is. Like, that's actually just good. Not a big deal. Just good.
Can't wait for people to check it out on the PTR. Let us know what you think, and we'll be listening to see any further improvements we can make. So that's just some of what Visions of Nzoth has to offer. Also coming in this content update is a heroic version of the Darkshore Warfront, a new PvP season, Season 4 of Battle for Azeroth, with, of course, all new rewards, and a new mythic keystone affix that reflects Nzoth's corrupting influence as his tendrils spread their way across Azeroth. With this corrupted affix active, when you go into a dungeon in Season 4, you'll see occasional Black Empire obelisks dotting the landscape. Interacting with one of these obelisks will pull you into an alternate world where we see Nzoth's power ascendant and a powerful lieutenant of his stands guard.
Well,
Defeating
fuck,
that
I don't want to go in
lieutenant
there.
will return you to your regular reality, but will do so in whatever location you're currently standing when that mini-boss is defeated. This will enable some interesting skips that don't involve the use of Shroud of Concealment or Invisibility. Now, of course...
That's cool. That's actually cool. I'll be honest, like, rogues are worthless. They fix Shroud. Yeah, rogues are still going to be dominant, I think, because of their damage, but still, I think that's really cool. This is much much better than Beguiling. I'll tell you that right now. I hated Beguiling ever since the first fucking time I did it.
If you keep these minions alive and you just decide to ignore them entirely, they may come and pay you a visit as you're fighting the final boss of the dungeon. So you'll want to strategize very carefully as you approach dungeons with the corrupted affix in play during BFA Season 4.
So you have to clear
now,
them
you may
out.
be wondering when you're going to get to check all of this out. Well, I'm very happy to announce that we're working literally as I speak on getting this uploaded to our public test realm for the entire world, and we should have it live later today. You'll be able to jump in, check out assaults by Nzoth's minions, venture into your very first horrific visions, and much more.
How about
and
that?
just after that, stay tuned for news regarding multiplayer raid testing and more.
Yep.
Thank you all so much. We'll be listening very closely to all of your feedback from the PTR. And just around the corner after that, see you at BlizzCon.
It's a good time to be a WoW player right now. It really is.
Blizzard paid you to say that. They're paying... Guys, Blizzard is paying him to say good things about WoW right now. As he speaks. I know this because he told me yesterday.
What? No, I did. What? No. No, that's not true. I didn't tell him yesterday. That didn't happen. It's not true. The truth is that, listen, let's read the comments first, okay? You mean to tell me that my boy Rathian has been missing for so long because he's been maxing out tailoring? That's about right, actually. One of the mightiest of all evils Azeroth has ever known. I hope we don't kill him for good only 2 patches after his release, but overall looks like a cool patch. Of course you won't. He's going to be an issue forever because they're going to recycle the content. If only you could send up to China and get rid of LFR. Some of his hands keep going after the video ended. I still go on this day. Alpaca's not included. I'm sorry. We actually do need an alpaca race. That'd be a really good idea. Or a mount. That'd be a great idea. He said you'll earn a legendary cloak. I heard you're never going to get a cloak. I don't know what that means. Could this have an effect on Titanforging? Yeah, remove it, I hope. Finally, I found a way out. My ugly Eye of Sauron in my head. Okay, that's cool. So the auction house became the Black Lion Trading Company. Cool. Okay. Let's see here. Reaches out with its tentacles and tendrils. Hentai artists. Interesting. Okay. So, McConnell.
What?
Is WoW saved?
No.